What if I told you that one of the greatest chess games that ever took place only lasted 17 moves? And what if I told you that the winner of that game sacrificed material, ignored greed, and crushed two opponents at the exact same time? Today we're looking at the upper game. Even though it was played over 160 years ago, this game could instantly change your chess. So let's jump right in. Okay, so this game was played in Paris in 1858. Paul Morphy had white, while Duke Karl of Brunswick and Count Isouard had consulted each other to play black. It's one of the most famous games ever played, and a perfect example of opening principles in action. So, this game begins with e4, e5, knight f3, d6. And you can see here, black chooses the Philidor defense, which is a little bit passive because it blocks the bishop from going to c5 and also to b4 as well. So we can learn from here that you always want to actively develop your pieces when you can. Next, we see that white plays d4, black plays bishop g4, then we have d takes e5, bishop takes f3, queen takes f3, and e takes e5. Already something interesting is happening. Black has moved the same piece twice to trade off the knight on f3. Meanwhile, white is gaining time. It has had time to recapture this bishop on f3. Now, we can see now a new development lead after this too. We can see that after queen takes f3, d takes d5, white plays bishop c4, knight f6, queen b3, queen e7, knight c3, c6, and bishop g5 with b5 as well. So let's pause here. Look at white's position. White has two bishops developed, a queen and a knight all developed, and while black has several pieces that are still stuck on the back row right over here. So we can learn from here that development matters more than material or small threats. From here, white continues building the pressure. After black plays b5, right, as you saw, there's a great move here, and white plays it, and that is knight takes c5. Knight takes b5. And from here, black plays c takes b5, bishop takes b4, b5 check, knight bd7. Knight b7 is one of the best moves in this position because it develops a piece at the same time and also opposes a strong bishop right over here, opposes it with this knight on bd7. Here, white plays castles because to activate his rook on his open d file, and here, since black sees the threat on the knight on d7, he plays rook to d8. So white castles long and instantly brings the rook into the action. So from here, we learn another key lesson. It is always to castle early and connect your rooks. Meanwhile, you see that black is still trying to untangle. Its two rooks are still disconnected. Obviously, in the white position, it's already connected. So castling early can help connect your rooks. Now we reach the critical moment. After rook d7, white plays rook takes d7, and after rook d8, white plays rook takes d7, and then black plays rook takes d7. Then white continues to attack with rook d1, putting more pressure on this pin piece on d1, which cannot move. From here, we see that black tries to play queen e6, desperate to trade off these queens over here. And I want you to pause here. If you're white, what would you play in this position? Take a few seconds. There's a great move you might think about here. It's a great sequence that's possible. Okay, I hope you took a great look at it. So it comes after bishop takes d7 and knight takes b7. As you can see from the evaluation bar on the side, there it's mating too. I would I would expect you to instantly spot this if you're intermediate or higher. If you're still beginner, still learning, it's important that you understand what pieces are attacking, what squares, and how we can continually attack. So we can see that there's only one way forward, and here Morphy plays the incredible move, Queen B8, check, brilliant move. He sacrifices his queen, and it's forced because after knight takes b8, that's rook d8 checkmate. This rook delivers mate. The bishop on b5 controls all of its king's escape squares. It cannot move anywhere else because it's trapped. And the king is completely trapped. The game is over. So from here, we learn some vital key lessons. Let me just go through and recap each of the lessons to make sure you can apply these in your games. So, it is always important to develop your pieces. Important. As a beginner or intermediate player, it is important that we always develop our pieces. So we see here that by move 8, Morphy's bishops and knights are already out. Here we see his bishop, his other bishop, knight and queen are already out, putting pressure on the black side. Compare that to black, you see its back row is still filled with lots of pieces. And this matters because when the attack begins, white has more pieces to put into the fight, while black is stuck on the back row, not being able to defend anyhow. Now, it is also important to don't move your piece repeatedly in the opening. It is good to do that in the middle game or in the end game, but in the opening, you gotta focus on developing your pieces. We see here black plays a vital mistake by going bishop g4, then next move bishop takes f3. That's multiple moves with the same piece in the opening. Meanwhile, Morphy uses that time to bring new pieces into the game. So while black is busy with that one piece, white builds a full army. Now, next lesson is always to castle early and connect your rooks. We see here um, after white castles right over here, he connects his rooks and uses that to bring them into the game. Black, on the other hand, struggles to even coordinate their rooks, which are on the other sides of the board. This shows that castling isn't just about king safety, it's about activating pieces as well. Next, when you're ahead in development, try to open the position as much as possible. Morphy plays right over here, he plays knight takes b5, right? And after black recaptures, he plays bishop takes b5. Check. These moves aren't random, they open lines. But why is this important, you may ask? Because opening lines let the bishop attack and lets the rook attack in the next move. It lets the rook and bishop all attack with open lines because that's what rooks and bishops need. They need open lines to attack. Now, if the position had stayed closed, black might have had time to catch up. So suppose he did not play this move, which could have led to this sacrifice. It was if he played something else, tries to play like knight a6, trying to develop, go knight into here. That would have kept the position a little bit close, so that he can still develop and catch up on development. Now, it's next lesson we can learn from here is it's important to use all your pieces together. Look at the final position, right? You see the rook delivers checkmate, the bishop controls all of its escape squares, and other pieces helped force the king into that exact position. No single piece wins that game. It's all about coordination, how you coordinate your pieces throughout the game. Lastly, calculation over material, right? It's not it's not just the material that matters. It's how you use that what you have to win the game. So you see here, on white plays queen b8 check, and he gives up the queen. But he's not just giving up the queen, although he's losing material in the process. He calculated that after knight takes b8, which is at forced, there's rook d8 checkmate. This shows that in chess, material doesn't matter if you can force a win. This game isn't famous because of the brilliant move. It's famous because every move follows a clear idea, and those ideas build into a periodic attack. If you enjoyed this breakdown, Please subscribe to the channel and like the video if possible as well. Next time, we'll explore another legendary game or tactical impression. And remember, don't just memorize these ideas. Understand how these are played and what's the idea behind them. And I'll see you in the next video.